The biggest mistake sellers make isn't greed, it's trying to be safe. And that safe strategy can quietly cost sellers thousands while creating opportunity for buyers who know what to watch for. Because overpricing doesn't just affect sellers, it reshapes negotiation power for everyone in the market. Keep watching, because if you understand why it happens, you can avoid one of the most expensive mistakes sellers make. And if you're a buyer, understanding this gives you serious negotiation advantages because overpriced homes can create opportunity. If you're in Burlington, Oakville, Milton, or nearby, and you're starting to think about buying or selling, book a planning call using the link in the description. A clear plan early makes every decision easier later. Overpricing rarely starts with greed. Most sellers don't wake up thinking, let's test the market and see what happens. It usually starts with uncertainty. Sellers are making a major life decision. They're leaving a home full of memories and stepping into an unknown next chapter. So naturally they look for certainty, and pricing feels like control. When they price higher, it feels like more financial safety, more room to negotiate, and more protection against regret. But here's the disconnect. The market doesn't interpret price emotionally. It interprets price comparatively. Let's make this practical. Buyers don't ask, is this home worth it to the seller? They ask, is this the best option I can get for this price? That difference is where overpricing begins. So let's look at the 3 psychological traps that lead to overpricing. Trap 1, the "but mine is nicer" effect. Sellers remember 15 years of care, while buyers compare 5 homes in 15 minutes. Your updates matter, but only if buyers see clear, visible value compared to the homes that are in that price range. What sellers can do instead. Before finalizing price, line up your listing besides active competitors and ask, would a buyer instantly see why this costs more? If the answer isn't obvious in photos, layout, or features, the market will push back. What buyers should notice. If a home feels overpriced but well maintained, it's often not a bad home, just the seller's pricing from memory instead of market. That could create an opportunity for you later. Trap 2, the neighborhood anchor. Sellers often anchor to the highest sale in the area, but that sale might have had a better lot, a superior layout, more upgrades, better timing, or multiple offers. Pricing based on the best case instead of the most probable case creates a gap between expectations and buyer behaviors. The market rewards alignment, not optimism. What sellers can do instead. Look beyond price and study days on market, whether price reductions happened, and how many offers were involved. That tells you demand strength, not just sales price. What buyers should watch for. If a listing is priced based on an outlier sale, it often sits. And the longer time on market equals a leverage shift towards buyers. Trap 3, the "we can always come down" strategy. This sounds like, let's try high and adjust later. But the first 7 to 14 days are when your listing gets maximum exposure. That's when buyers are the most alert, agents are planning tours, and new listings get priority. If you start too high, serious buyers never see it, showing starts slow, and momentum never builds. By the time you reduce, the listing feels stale, even if it's now priced correctly. And stale listings attract bargain hunters, not competition. Here's the key. Overpricing doesn't protect sellers. It removes urgency, and urgency is what protects price. What sellers should do instead. Treat the launch of your home to the market like a campaign, not a test. Your goal in week 1 is high showing volume, strong buyer feedback, and a sense that acting fast matters. That happens when pricing sits where buyers feel that your offering to the market is competitive and appealing. Also remember, monitor showing traffic in the first 10 days. If activity is quiet, adjust fast, not after 30+ days. Early adjustments protect price better than large ones later. What can buyers do with this information? This is where buyers can gain an advantage. Watch listings that start high and sit for 14 to 21 days. That's when sellers can shift from testing to negotiating. That window often brings price reduction, greater flexibility on closing dates, and more openness to conditions. The home didn't get worse. The seller's expectations just got closer to reality. And that's leverage for you. Quick pause. If this type of practical market insight helps you think more strategically about buying and selling and you want more, check out the link in the description to download a free buyer or seller's guide, full with more detailed information like this to help you on your real estate journey. Let's get back to it. What overpricing actually cost. Overpricing doesn't just risk a lower final price, it increases time on market, carrying costs, stress, and uncertainty about the next move. It also weakens negotiation power. Buyers start assuming something must be wrong, the seller is getting anxious, or there's room to push harder. The longer a home lingers, the more leverage shifts away from the seller. Why smart sellers still fall into this? Even experienced homeowners fall into overpricing because they're afraid of leaving money on the table. They don't want to feel like they undersold, or they just want to test demand before committing. These feel completely normal, but the market doesn't reward testing. It rewards positioning. What strategic pricing actually means. Strategic pricing isn't about aiming low. It's about aligning with a home buyer's search, how they compare, and how they decide to act. For sellers, that means pricing inside active search brackets, studying competing homes, not just past sales, watching early activity like a hawk, and adjusting quickly if response is quiet. For buyers, that means tracking days on market, re-watching homes after price drops, and understanding that time creates negotiation power. The real goal of pricing. The goal isn't to prove what your home is worth. The goal is to create the conditions where buyers compete for it. Competition protects price and isolation weakens it. Pricing determines which one you get. Overpricing doesn't happen because sellers don't know better. It happens because selling is emotional and emotions look for safety. But in real estate, the safest strategy is the one aligned with buyer behavior, not seller comfort. And when pricing is strategic from day one, everything else in the process becomes easier. If you're thinking about selling or buying in Burlington, Oakville, Milton, or the surrounding area, and you want to discuss how this can affect you, book a planning call using the link in the description. Even if you're months away, getting clarity early helps you avoid costly mistakes later. And if this has you thinking about other selling strategies, you should check out this next video.